All right, now let's begin changing the strap on the Oysterflex Daytona. What will we need? Well, we'll need the watch, and not much else. I like to put a soft surface when I'm doing work. Just a paper towel is fine. And then we have the straps. Let's take a look at those while we're here. They're actually quite nice. This is the Rolex parts box that it came in. And they are custom. They say Rolex Geneva on one side. It says Alligator on the other. And what I mean by custom is that one negative about the Oysterflex Daytona is that all the straps have to be customized. You know, other companies that use rather rubber straps, they tend to perforate the rubber so that it can be cut. But this strap is actually not a strap; it's a bracelet. It's there's a metal between the lugs and the clasp, coated in rubber, so it can't be cut. And so there are different sizes, and they have to be custom ordered to fit your wrist. So you can't really buy it off the shelf from the AD unless you'll be patient to order the correct strap so that it fits your wrist. Unless they have one in their store in stock, they often do. But the way that the sizing works is it goes, you know, this one is a size D and this is a size F. So, you know, there's C, D, E, F, G, or something like that. So you have to find one size on the 6 o'clock and another size on the 12 o'clock so that it fits. And the leather is going to be a little bit smaller than the rubber because the rubber has these fins underneath that give it a little bit of volume, which makes it longer than the leather. You know, the verdict is still out as to whether it or not it's comfortable, but it is useful. I know that it does prevent sweating. It kind of airs out the wrist, which is nice. And the rubber, the Oysterflex, is amazing. The quality is far better than any other company's rubber synthetic straps, including Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, etc., etc. So, moving on, we have the straps that we're going to change into. And last but not least, we need tools. Not so many. So I have my trusty little toolkit here. I advise using only Bergen. They are the best. Don't use cheap tools on your expensive watch. For the most part, I don't know if I would suggest you getting it done at the authorized dealer because sometimes they don't have the experience or patience and they will scratch your watch. So if you know what you're doing and you're careful, you could probably get away with not scratching your watch. I've done it 100 times. I haven't scratched my watch yet. But I do use good tools. So what tools am I going to be using for this? Basically just two tools. We have the screwdriver, and we have the fork. And I have a pair of tweezers, which helps me pull out the screw once it's loose because there's Loctite in there that holds it in. So you'll see how that works. It's not necessary though. And that's it. Here are some protectors for the sharp edges. And so let's get started. I don't think it'll take more than a few minutes. All right, so step one. Actually, I'm not even gonna do it in terms of step one. I'm just gonna go ahead and start, and I'll be done in about 3 or 4 minutes. Let me zoom in. And be careful not to lose the gold spring bars. They're expensive. I'm actually not going to need them because I installed my own quick release. Let me show you. Spring bars on this. I added a little slit and I ordered these online. I don't know if I'd suggest it or not, but it's very convenient and it prevents scratching. Because the rubber gives. It kind of, it has give. The leather is stiff. It doesn't have very much give, making it more difficult to apply the pressure from the tools, potentially creating risk that you will scratch the watch. All right, so we got the bracelet off. Next step, we unscrew the because of that Loctite, like I said, it'll just sit there, so I use tweezers to pull it out. But we will need these. So the long side, I'm gonna take it out, put it in here, and replace the long side with the long leather side. And then go ahead and put my screw in. And then take the short side, put it away, and then replace it, put the screw in, oops, I'm trying to stay in the frame, I don't know if I am. Alright, now let's tighten it with the screwdriver. Alright, we've changed the bracelet. So this, now let's reattach the strap onto the case. Now, the 12 o'clock side is usually longer. And so I'll take the 12 o'clock side. I have quick release, so I just have to manually and do the same thing for the other side. Oops. Let's give myself a little stretch. Let's find the hole, and there we are. Voila. Zoom out. It is done. And as you can see, it has a more formal look. It's kind of got shiny, large scale alligator. Well, it's kind of matte, kind of shiny. But it's very elegant. You have the contrast, you have the black, you have the gold, and the ivory. So considering it's a sports watch and a popular one, it's elegant. It kind of goes against the whole hype mentality of the Daytona, which is pretty cool that this one is kind of unique. I like to wear it to work and to formal events. It's less versatile than the rubber, but small price to pay. So that's it. Now we put the tools away. I use these guards because the tools are very sharp. Prevents possible injuries. And then here we have the Oysterflex with the rose gold spring bars that we'll just put away until we want to change it back. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you guys now have faith to do it yourself. If you take a look, let's see if I can zoom. There are really no scratches, so this is where let's see, the screws, here are the screws, and let's take a look at the lugs. Not bad. And look at that dial. Let's just take a minute to appreciate how beautiful this dial is. This is something else. It's much better quality than the less expensive two-tone and steel models. That I will say with 100% confidence. I will enjoy this watch forever. This is a forever watch. I hope I have influenced your decision one way or another. If you are considering purchasing this model, I couldn't recommend it enough. It is beautiful. It is expensive, but it is absolutely gorgeous.